Welcome back to my channel, Pocket Change Coins. If you're excited about finding hidden gems in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we're going to uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're diving into one of the most iconic and sought-after pennies in US history, the 1944 wheat penny. This little coin, produced during a time of great historical significance, holds much more value than what meets the eye. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this particular penny could fetch a price that will absolutely blow your mind. Trust me, you'll want to stick around to find out just how much this seemingly simple coin could be worth. The 1944 wheat penny holds a special place in the world of numismatics. To understand its significance, let's take a step back in time. The year 1944 was marked by World War II, and the United States was undergoing significant changes. The war effort had created a demand for copper for ammunition, and as a result, the U.S. Mint made a fascinating decision that year. They actually switched the composition of the penny from its usual copper to steel to conserve resources for the war effort. However, in 1944, they returned to the familiar copper alloy, and that's when the 1944 wheat penny was minted. This is where things start to get interesting. You might be wondering, what makes this particular coin so valuable? After all, the 1944 wheat penny wasn't a limited edition release or commemorative coin. The answer lies in the combination of historical context, rarity, and condition. The 1944 penny is part of the iconic Wheat Cent series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. On the obverse of the coin, you'll find the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side features 2 ears of wheat, which is where the coin gets its nickname, Wheat Penny. This simple yet powerful design has made the coin an enduring symbol of American history. Now, when it comes to coin collecting, the key to a coin's value is often its rarity and condition. While the 1944 wheat penny was minted in large numbers, over 430 million were produced that year, what truly makes it valuable is the condition it's in. Most of these pennies were heavily circulated, so finding one in exceptional, uncirculated condition is quite rare. Over time, many of these coins have suffered from the wear and tear of daily transactions, making those in pristine condition a true treasure to collectors, but there's more to it than just the overall condition. The 1944 wheat penny, like many other coins, can also be valuable if it has a unique minting error. Minting errors are often one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, resulting in coins with unusual features that set them apart from others. For example, a 1944 penny with a double die error, where the coin features a doubled design, is incredibly valuable. These types of mistakes are rare and highly sought after by collectors, and they can significantly increase the price of the coin. The 1944 wheat penny also holds a place in the hearts of collectors due to its connection to the history of World War II. As we mentioned earlier, the United States was conserving copper during the war, and the return of the copper pennies after the war is seen as a sign of the country's recovery. This gives the coin even more historical significance, making it a must-have for serious collectors who appreciate the deeper story behind each coin. Now, let's get to the exciting part, the value of the 1944 wheat penny. While most 1944 pennies are worth only a few cents above their face value, the ones in pristine condition or with minting errors are a different story. If you happen to have a 1944 penny in uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. The price for these coins can vary, but the most valuable 1944 wheat pennies can fetch up to an astonishing $310,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $310,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe that a coin as small and seemingly unimportant as a penny could be worth such a large sum, but that's the magic of coin collecting. A coin's value is determined not just by its face value or size, but by its rarity, condition, and any special characteristics it might possess. A 1944 wheat penny with the right features could be worth far more than you might ever expect. So, what does this mean for you? If you have any 1944 pennies lying around in your collection or in a jar of old change, it's definitely worth taking a closer look at them. If your penny is in good condition, especially if it's uncirculated, or if it features a rare error, you could have a valuable coin on your hands. If you're unsure about the condition or authenticity of your coin, it's always a good idea to have it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. Coin collecting is a fascinating hobby, and as you can see, even a small coin like the 1944 wheat penny can be worth a small fortune if it's rare enough. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, always keep an eye out for those hidden treasures. You never know what you might find tucked away in your collection, and it could change your life. Second rare coin, we're diving into a truly remarkable coin that might just be hiding in your collection or an old jar of change, the 1949 wheat penny. While many pennies come and go in daily transactions, this particular coin stands out as a treasure among the common. What makes the 1949 wheat penny so special, and why could it be worth far more than its face value? Stick around because we're about to uncover its rich history, design, and what makes it such a valuable find in today's numismatic world. First, let's set the stage. The 1949 wheat penny was minted during an interesting time in U.S. history. The country was recovering from the effects of World War II, and the economy was stabilizing in the post-war era. These were the years following the Great Depression, and the U.S. Mint was busy creating coins that would carry the nation through the mid-20th century. The 1949 penny is part of the famous Wheat Cent series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. These coins are named for the two ears of wheat that adorn the reverse side, which is a design by engraver Victor David Brenner. Abraham Lincoln's portrait graces the obverse, a design that's now iconic in American coinage. But what makes the 1949 version of this coin so sought after? While many of these pennies were produced, about 1.1 billion of them in total, the true rarity of the 1949 wheat penny lies in its condition and unique features. Not all 1949 pennies are valuable, but those that are in exceptional shape can command astronomical prices. Now, let's talk about the minting process and the importance of the mint mark. If you've spent any time studying coins, you know that the mint mark plays a huge role in determining the origin of a coin. The 1949 wheat penny was minted in both Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, with a D mint mark. The ones with the D mint mark are especially sought after by collectors, as they are somewhat less common than those minted in Philadelphia. So, if you're looking through your collection and you find a 1949 D penny in pristine condition, you could be holding on to a rare gem, but there's something even more special about the 1949 D wheat penny. For a coin to fetch a high value, it needs to be in top condition. And finding a 1949 D penny that is well preserved or, even better, uncirculated is quite rare. Most of these pennies were heavily circulated, and over time, many of them have been worn down, losing much of their original sharp details and luster. This wear and tear significantly decreases their value. However, a 1949 D penny in mint state condition, meaning it has not been circulated and still looks almost as fresh as the day it was minted, can be worth far more than just its face value. But here's where things get really interesting. Certain 1949 wheat pennies are even more valuable because they have minting errors that make them one of a kind. Errors occur when there's a mistake in the production process, resulting in coins with unique features. For example, some 1949 D pennies were struck off-center, or others may have been incorrectly stamped with the wrong die. These errors create highly collectible coins that stand out from the rest, and error coins are usually worth much more than standard coins of the same year. You might be wondering, why does all of this matter? Well, if you have a 1949 D wheat penny in uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. And when it comes to selling a coin, collectors are always eager to find those rare pieces with a story to tell, such as coins from a particular year, mint, or with special characteristics like minting errors. So, let's get to the exciting part. Just how much could the 1949 D wheat penny be worth? Well, depending on its condition and any unique features it might have, a standard 1949 D penny can be worth a few dollars over its face value. But when you talk about ungraded or mint state coins, the value can go up significantly. In fact, a pristine, uncirculated 1949 wheat penny with no signs of wear, or one with an error, could fetch an incredible $290,000. Yes, that's $290,000 for a single penny. Now, before you start searching through every old penny you've collected, it's important to remember that not every 1949 wheat penny will be worth this much. The condition of the coin is absolutely crucial, and only those that are in exceptional, uncirculated condition or have rare minting errors will command such high prices. But still, the fact that a penny could be worth so much is truly mind-blowing, isn't it? So, what should you do if you think you might have a valuable 1949 wheat penny in your collection? First, check its condition. Is it in good shape, or does it show signs of heavy wear? If it's in excellent condition with minimal damage, you might just have a rare coin on your hands. Second, consider getting your coin professionally graded. A certified coin grading service will help determine its true value based on its condition and any potential errors it may have. If you're serious about collecting coins, then you know how important it is to take the time to search for hidden treasures. The 1949 wheat penny is a perfect example of how a seemingly small coin can have a huge value if it's in the right condition. Even though the coin was minted in large quantities, it's the rare specimens that make the most money. Third, expensive coin. We're uncovering a gem that may be hiding in your old coin collection or stashed away in a jar at the back of your drawer, the 1950 wheat penny. This particular coin is often overlooked by casual collectors, but for those who know what to look for, it's one of the most valuable pennies in circulation. The 1950 wheat penny has a fascinating backstory, a design that represents an important era in U.S. history, and most importantly, it can be worth far more than its original value. So, let's take a deep dive into this coin and uncover its true worth. First, let's set the stage. The year 1950 was an important time for the United States. The country had just emerged from the tumultuous years of World War II, and the post-war era was ushering in new hope and economic growth. The United States Mint was hard at work producing coins for a booming economy, and the wheat penny, one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history, was continuing to make its mark. The 1950 wheat penny, minted in Denver, carries all of this historical significance while also having some unique qualities that make it a standout piece among its peers. Now, let's talk about the design. As you probably know, the wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, is named after the two ears of wheat that appear on the reverse side of the coin. This design was created by engraver Victor David Brenner and is a symbol of America's agricultural roots. On the obverse, we find the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Brenner as well. Lincoln's portrait is a defining feature of U.S. coinage, and it has remained unchanged since its introduction in 1909. But what makes the 1950 wheat penny different from the others in the series? Well, the answer lies in the coin's rarity and the condition in which it was kept. You see, although the 1950 wheat penny was produced in large quantities, there were a few that escaped the usual wear and tear of circulation. Many of these pennies were used extensively in day-to-day transactions, leading to a large number of coins being heavily worn and damaged. However, the key to a coin's value is its condition, and that's where things get exciting. The 1950 penny in mint state or uncirculated condition is a rare find, and it's these exceptional specimens that are highly sought after by collectors. If you happen to find a 1950 wheat penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to something very valuable. The reason for this is that coins that have not been circulated retain much of their original detail and luster. These coins were kept in storage and were never used in commerce, which is what makes them so desirable to collectors. In fact, uncirculated examples of the 1950 wheat penny are considered some of the most valuable coins in the wheat cent series, but there's even more to the 1950 wheat penny than just its mint condition. Some of these coins are particularly valuable because of the errors that occurred during the minting process. Minting errors are a coin collector's dream because they make the coin unique. Common errors include off-center strikes, double strikes, and incorrect die alignment. These errors occur when there's a mistake during the production process, resulting in coins that are not like anything else. These error coins can fetch much higher prices than their standard counterparts, and collectors are always on the lookout for such rare pieces. So, how do you know if your 1950D wheat penny is a hidden treasure? The first step is to examine the condition of the coin. If it's still in nearly perfect shape, with minimal wear and clear details, it could be worth far more than just its face value. The next step is to look for any potential minting errors. Check for things like off-center designs, unusual doubling, or any other irregularities. If you find something that looks out of the ordinary, it's definitely worth getting it professionally graded. But now, let's get to the exciting part, the value of this incredible coin. The 1950D wheat penny, in excellent condition or with a minting error, can be worth far more than you might think. While typical 1950D pennies might be worth just a few cents above face value, a well-preserved uncirculated 1950D wheat penny could easily fetch a significant sum. In fact, one of these rare specimens has been known to sell for an incredible $210,000. That's right, $210,000 for a single penny. This may sound unbelievable, but it's true. Coins that are in mint state, or those with unique characteristics such as minting errors, have sold for extraordinary prices at auctions. The combination of rarity, condition, and the historical value behind the coin makes the 1950D wheat penny a highly desirable piece for collectors and investors alike. In the world of coin collecting, it's these rare finds that can lead to substantial profits. If you're wondering whether you have one of these valuable 1950D wheat pennies, now's the time to check your collection. You may just have a small fortune in your hands. And remember, coins like these don't come around every day, so if you do happen to find one, make sure to protect it, keep it in pristine condition, and get it professionally graded to unlock its full potential value. Especially, we're taking a closer look at a classic American treasure, the 1953 wheat penny. You might think of pennies as small, insignificant coins, but some of them are worth more than you could imagine. So, stick around as we explore what makes the 1953 wheat penny so valuable, why it's caught the eye of collectors, and how it could potentially be worth a small fortune. The United States Mint began producing the iconic wheat penny in 1909, and it remained in circulation until 1958. This means that the 1953 wheat penny is part of the final years of the series, making it a historical artifact in its own right. The wheat penny, featuring the famous wheat stalks on the reverse side and the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, was a coin that circulated widely throughout the early and mid-20th century. Over the years, these pennies were used daily, exchanged between hands, dropped into piggy banks, and stashed away in coin jars, many of which are still out there waiting to be discovered. When you think about it, the 1953 wheat penny is a symbol of the post-World War II era in the U.S. It was produced during a time of great economic change and growth. By the early 50s, the American economy was booming, and the country was entering a period of prosperity. But, while these pennies were common at the time, not all 1953 wheat pennies are created equal. Some of them stand out, and today, we'll uncover what makes them particularly valuable. One of the main reasons the 1953 wheat penny is highly sought after by collectors is its rarity and high-quality condition. While millions of these pennies were produced, many of them were used extensively in circulation, leading to wear and damage over time. The 1953 wheat penny that's in excellent condition, one that shows minimal signs of wear, is extremely rare and can command a high price. Most 1953 pennies are worn, but if you happen to come across one that still shines with the original detail of its design, you could be in for a major discovery. Let's take a moment to appreciate the design of the wheat penny. On the obverse, we see a sharp portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most iconic figures in U.S. history. Engraved by Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's face has graced American coinage since 1909. The design was created to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it's been featured on the penny ever since. On the reverse side, we find the two stalks of wheat that give the coin its name. This design, also created by Brenner, symbolizes the agricultural roots of America. The wheat penny was not just a symbol of money, but also of America's heartland, its farmers, and its foundational industries, while most 1953 wheat pennies are worth just their face value or a little above in average condition, it's the ones that are in mint condition or have special characteristics that are incredibly valuable. One such feature that can make the 1953 wheat penny even rarer is the presence of minting errors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of the coin, whether it's a double strike, an off-center design, or an incorrect die. These errors can cause the coin to have unique features that set it apart from the rest, and collectors go wild for these rarities. The 1953 wheat penny also has an interesting story when it comes to its mintage. The coins were produced at multiple U.S. mint facilities, including those in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1953 D wheat penny, minted in Denver, is often the one collectors are most interested in, but that doesn't mean that the Philadelphia or San Francisco issues are any less valuable. The rarity and condition of the coin ultimately determine its worth, and that's where collectors start getting really excited. If you happen to own a 1953 wheat penny from one of these mints, especially if it's in top-notch condition or shows some rare error, it's time to take a closer look at its potential. So, how much could your 1953 wheat penny be worth? The value of this coin can vary widely depending on its condition, rarity, and any minting errors it may have. A typical 1953 wheat penny in average condition may only fetch a few dollars above its face value, but when it comes to high-quality, uncirculated versions, or coins with minting errors, the price skyrockets. It's not uncommon for well-preserved examples to sell for hundreds of dollars. But here's the exciting part: one of these exceptional coins has been known to sell for an astonishing $210,000. Yes, you read that right, $210,000 for a single penny. So, if you happen to have a 1953 wheat penny stashed away in your collection, it could be more valuable than you ever imagined. Be sure to examine your coins carefully, looking for signs of minting errors or signs of exceptional preservation. If you find a 1953 wheat penny that seems to be in extraordinary shape, consider getting it professionally graded. With the right certification, a coin in top-tier condition can bring in a substantial sum at auctions or private sales. The world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures, and the 1953 wheat penny is just one example of how something as simple as a penny can hold a wealth of value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who just enjoys exploring the potential of rare coins, the 1953 wheat penny could be the next big find you make. Who knows? You might have a small fortune hiding in your pocket change or tucked away in your collection. Last unique coin, we're diving into a true American classic, the 1958 wheat penny. You might think that pennies are just pocket change, but let me tell you, this particular coin is worth so much more than its 1-cent face value. Stick around as we uncover the rich history, unique features, and incredible value of the 1958 wheat penny. The wheat penny, with its iconic design featuring 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse side, has been a staple of American currency since its debut in 1909. Produced for almost 50 years, the wheat penny became a symbol of everyday American life. And, while the 1958 wheat penny may seem like just another coin from the tail end of the series, it has a special place in both collectors' hearts and American numismatic history. In fact, the 1958 wheat penny is often seen as a transitional coin, marking the final year of the wheat penny design before the Lincoln Memorial design took over in 1959. The United States Mint produced millions of these coins during 1958, but what makes this coin truly remarkable is how few have survived in pristine condition. Over time, these coins were used for everyday transactions, passed from hand to hand, dropped on the ground, and tucked away in change jars. As a result, the majority of 1958 wheat pennies show signs of wear and tear. But for those lucky enough to find one in excellent, uncirculated condition, it can be worth far more than just a penny. The design of the 1958 wheat penny is simple yet elegant. On the obverse side, we see the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln, his portrait captured by the famous engraver Victor David Brenner. Lincoln has been featured on the U.S. penny since 1909, and his likeness remains one of the most iconic symbols in American coinage. On the reverse, the wheat stalks flank the words, 1 cent, emphasizing America's agricultural roots and the hard-working spirit of the American people. This coin represents much more than just currency, it's a tribute to the values that built the nation. Now, let's talk about why the 1958 wheat penny is so special. As with most collectible coins, condition is everything. A typical 1958 penny in circulated condition might only be worth a few cents above face value. However, the true treasures are the coins that remain in uncirculated, mint condition form. When a coin like the 1958 wheat penny is kept in pristine condition, it preserves the sharp details of its design, making it far more desirable to collectors. These high-quality examples have become increasingly rare, as most were heavily circulated throughout their years in circulation. What really sets the 1958 wheat penny apart from other coins in the series is that it was the final year the U.S. Mint produced the wheat design. After 1958, the penny underwent a major redesign with the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, which became a fixture on the penny for decades. This makes the 1958 wheat penny a historic piece of numismatic history, a symbol of the final days of one of the most enduring designs in U.S. coinage. In addition to pristine examples, there are also certain varieties of the 1958 wheat penny that can command a higher price. For instance, certain minting errors, such as double die or off-center strikes, can make a coin much more valuable. These errors occur during the minting process, when the coin is accidentally struck multiple times or off-center. The result is a unique coin that stands out from the standard issue, making it highly desirable among collectors. If you happen to have a 1958 wheat penny with a rare minting error, it could be worth significantly more than its uncirculated counterparts. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for such rare pieces, and the value of these error coins can sometimes surpass expectations. So, when you're going through your coin collection, be sure to carefully examine each penny for any unusual characteristics. A small mistake during the minting process can turn an ordinary penny into a rare and valuable collectible. So, how much is a 1958 wheat penny worth, you might be wondering. The value of this coin can vary greatly depending on its condition and any rare characteristics it might have. An average 1958 wheat penny, even one in good condition, typically only sells for a few dollars. However, if you're fortunate enough to find one that's in gem condition or has a rare minting error, it could fetch a much higher price. In fact, one of these exceptional coins has been known to sell for an astonishing $165,000. That's right, $165,000 for a single penny. It's incredible to think that a coin that was once worth just 1 cent can be worth so much today, especially when you consider how many of these coins were originally produced. The rarity of well-preserved examples and the added value of unique minting errors have made the 1958 wheat penny one of the most coveted coins in the world of numismatics. If you happen to have one of these coins in your collection, it might be time to get it appraised by a professional. You might be sitting on a hidden treasure. As we've seen with many rare and valuable coins, condition, rarity, and unique features are the key factors that determine their worth. If you're a collector or just starting your numismatic journey, always be on the lookout for those coins that are in excellent condition or have an interesting history. You never know, you could have a small fortune in your pocket. Thank you for joining us today as we uncovered the fascinating world of the 1958 wheat penny. We hope this video has inspired you to take a closer look at your own collection and see what hidden treasures might be waiting for you. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on more exciting coin discoveries. Until next time, happy collecting!